So if you saw the latest PlayStation 4 and Xbox One games, this game's gonna knock your socks off. Wolfenstein 3D for the PlayStation 3 and every other system imaginable. This was basically the precursor to Doom. Apparently this has all the episodes, I guess. I don't know if this has the expansion pack on it. I didn't own a PC when this game was popular. I might have played at other people's houses, but this wasn't the first person shooter. I'm not gonna play it on a terribly hard mode. I've embarrassed myself enough on other videos. But I mean, the scaling on this PlayStation version is quite nice. I don't know if the frames will show up as decently as they look on this. There's like some weird game that id Software made before where you like casted spells and stuff that were in the first person. I forgot what it's called. Doesn't really matter. We're playing Wolfenstein 3D. I'm not too crazy about this game. I'm a huge fan of Doom and I like the other releases of Wolfenstein, but the original Wolfenstein 3D is kind of disorienting to me. There's no textures on the floor. Basically the way you have to figure out how to get around is I forgot if you could shoot those or not. Just follow your trail of dead bodies. It's almost like leaving a trail of popcorn or anything behind so you don't get lost, kind of like Hansel and Gretel, except I don't think they left a trail of dead Nazis. They could have, but they chose not to. The Brothers Grimm forgot to mention that part. They might have mentioned it, and Disney might have cleaned it up for them like they did with the other fairy tales. I like this effect, even though it looks super cheap, where in these games where you rotate around something, the thing rotates around with you, the actual object. So you don't have a map on this too. I would hope that if they did an HD remake, maybe they'd have a mode where they put textures on the walls and floors and whatnot, and maybe added a map. Because that's what makes Doom so enjoyable. Like, yeah, it's maze-like, but floors have textures and shit, so you don't get lost. I don't have to... Do those things blow up? I haven't played this in so long, I can't remember. I have the laptop volume on, there's slight lag, so I think people are shooting at me when it's my gun. So this was originally on the Super Nintendo. Look at that animation of him breathing. It's pretty cool how long this series lasted. I mean, there was an engine basically made, and then there was Castle Wolfenstein. Maybe it was just Wolfenstein. I think it was Castle Wolfenstein on the Commodore 64 and the Apple II. And then they brought this game out to the PC and just put the Wolfenstein engine on it, because I don't think Castle Wolfenstein was actually copyrighted. I don't think people cared that much about games when it came out, or maybe the copyright expired. But I mean, it was a great move, because it'd probably be a completely different game today if they didn't do that. It's nice that they have a random sink in the middle of nowhere and a bowl of fruit on the floor. But yeah, without having textures or a lot of objects on the floor or whatever, this game is very disorienting to me. So they brought this game on the Super Nintendo, and they changed the Nazis just in the regular bad guys. The dogs turned into gigantic rats. The sprites got chunkier. Of course, they didn't scale smoother. There was a company, I think it was called Color Dreams or whatever. There was a game called Noah's Ark 3D, and it was a game where you had to attach another cartridge on the Noah's Ark 3D game. You might have had to attach Castle Wolfenstein, which would have been ironic because that was such a violent game, although all the blood and everything was taken out. It was so toned down, but I mean, it'd be funny to have Castle Wolfenstein attached to a religious game. Color Dreams actually started making a Hellraiser game that got canceled because none of those games were official, and I'm sure Nintendo would have sued the shit out of them if they had any opportunity. Yeah, some nice wood paneling. So not every room looks exactly the same, but just about. It starts becoming a pain in the ass when you have to start collecting key cards. Or keys in this. I don't think they had key cards in World War II. Maybe they did. Nobody shared that information with me, so I can't confirm or deny. So we've already been here because I see a dead body. It looks mildly depressing. I feel like I've been there. We have not been here. Thank you. The sound effects are pretty good. This game used to be on like just about every shareware disc that had like 50 games on it. If you ever played Die Hard Trilogy on the original PlayStation, John McClane always goes, "Ho ho, I got a machine gun." That was always good for a laugh. Or you play Die Hard with a Vengeance, and the fake Samuel L. Jackson sound alike. So always says, "Please let me drive." But we're talking about Wolfenstein right now. You can tell how this game grabs my attention. At the time, I probably would have thought this was impressive. I'm not a jaded gamer by any means, but the main issue I have with this game is just how disorienting it is without the textures and stuff. But I mean, for its time, it is impressive. I don't feel like it holds up well at all. I just feel like it has too many issues that just don't hold up very well. They're not technically issues. Lack of features would probably be a better word. If you play Duke Nukem or a lot of older first-person shooters, at the end of the level, there's always some sort of switch you have to push to go to the next level. We're going to try to play the third level, but it might get a little lengthy because, well, I'm probably going to get disoriented. I do like the dual analog stick scheme that they put on the PlayStation. It does work nice. I hate playing some of the first-person shooters like on the original PlayStation controller, like Alien Trilogy, although the game itself is actually really fun, or Wolfenstein or Doom on the Super Nintendo, where you have to use the shoulder buttons to strafe. Thank goodness they didn't do that. That gets annoying. I'm glad that they did the same thing with the Doom port on PlayStation 3. I don't think that they have that feature on PlayStation 2, because I don't think the analog stick was out. It might have been out, but it wasn't the DualShock. There was actually an analog stick that came out before the DualShock. It was just called the analog stick. They're trying to compete with the Nintendo 64. Wow, I'm a great shot. But I don't think you could push in the analog sticks, and I'm not even sure if the analog sticks were rubberized. I've never actually held one. I've seen it in the store, but it was behind a glass case. You know, it sucks. I'm playing this and I'm like, I'm not sure if I remember, like, I think I just started this game. Usually I move a cursor or something so I know when to start the audio, but I didn't do it this way. Fuck. So if the sound's out of sync, that's why. Get my bowl of fruit. I don't know why we found this funny, but we went to a Mongolian buffet, which, if you don't know what that is, it's when there's like a bunch of raw food and noodles and stuff, and you make the stuff you mix the stuff how you want it, and they have a big huge flat grill, and then the guy cooks it, and then gives you an odd look, so you put a tip in his jar. Otherwise he hawks a big loogie, and it's gross because it actually bubbles on the grill. But you can make as many bowls as you want. I don't suggest it though, because it's mostly oil, and you'll be hauling ass to go back home to try to make it to the bathroom if you have a long drive, so don't overdo it. But I remember there was this guy that I worked with, and he's so proud of himself. He's like, I only had one bowl and a bowl of fruit, and he said fruit real weird, and it was always a joke. It was really funny. I'm sure none of you guys will think it's funny because you weren't there, but it was hilarious for the time. Anybody that says fruit like that is a born comedian and are just extremely awkward. But if he's listening, he was a born comedian. If not, extremely awkward. Oh, we have a big mass of German shepherds over there. Kind of feel bad about that. It's not their fault their masters are dicks. Oh, you want to play too? Well, I play back. Oh, that's a cute little health pack. It looks like something out of Zelda. Zelda used health packs, but it looked like the heart from Zelda. Oh, I'm getting disoriented. It's starting to happen. I might not make this one. I know, like, after the second or third level, these levels get, like, fucking crazy. Like, if you had, like, that map, like you do on Doom, even, like, that wireframe map, it would make this game so much easier. They could have did more with the remake. I mean, they have this great analog stick thing, but just to have maybe an enhanced edition or something for a programmer, like, would that probably take like 15 minutes. I mean, they can run this game in a web browser. They did it for the anniversary of this game, I believe. There's a web browser version of this, which would probably blow people's minds, because there were probably people back in the day that had to play this game like on the smallest ass window, I need a key. Of course I do. Why wouldn't you need something else? Oh man. It's a lot of rooms I gotta go through. I got 100% health. I don't need that bowl of fruit. Another room. And another room. Guess what? Another room. I am completely lost. And I probably couldn't find the key if my life depended on it unless I felt every single wall known to man. So is this game what I would consider a classic? No. Is it impressive for its time? Yes. Is it fun when you actually can find your way to the door? Why, yes. Does it hold up? I don't think so, not so much. So this is Wolfenstein 3D, or Wolfenstein 3D for the PlayStation 3. Also available on just about anything that takes any kind of code known to man. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day and you enjoyed the video. Alright guys, take care, bye.